Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism, back with another video for you today. I've got an open letter, a question, and a request for NASA. On behalf of the American people who have funded your entire program, there's something that needs to be said. If everything that you've told us and everything that you've said you've done is true, then I think there's no reason why there shouldn't be a camera on the moon. NASA, why haven't you done this yet? What possible reason could you have for not doing something that can only yield positive results? It's an absolute slap in the face to the people who live on Earth. Let's think about this for a second. Let's talk about the good that it would do and the damage it does with every single day that passes without NASA completing such a basic and essential mission. So NASA would need to launch a moonlander craft that would head to the moon.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 1.
And if we're going to discuss finances, we can just look back to 2007 and recall the launch of the mission Themis, a moon orbiter that has been measuring the auroras in the Earth's magnetosphere and still is operating today. So that craft has been in operation for 10 years and it cost NASA $173 million. So a launch of a simple craft carrying 5 or 6 4K cameras would cost much less. Well, let's say the cost is $159 million. That's only 3 days of the NASA budget, which is $53 million a day. So 3 days worth of the budget and we already have our $159 million. So we launch it. We launch it up and we land it on the moon, and when we land it right next to the Apollo 16 landing spot. You can then show us the LEM and the lunar rover sitting exactly where they were left over 50 years ago. This could finally prove your moon landings. And I've already heard people saying, oh, you'll just call that fake too, just like you did the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter photos of the landing spots. Well, there is a huge difference between live video footage showing the rover and the LEM sitting on the moon and these images believers want to call proof. If these images are proof to you that the rover and the LEM, as well as the footprints and the past of the astronauts seen from 50 miles above the moon, if these pixel changes and arrows are proof, then you better start believing in the proof of Bigfoot. You better start believing that this here is proof of 2 UFOs in the sky. You better believe the proof that I spent 7 hours on the roof of the White House last week. And the week before, I walked on water from California to Hawaii. Yes, I know I did get a little bit tired and I got picked up. You can see where that happened right there in the middle. Then the boat drove us a little bit forward and then I completed the journey with a buddy. And if you look closely, you'll see proof of that too, as there's actually 2 paths. So, that being said, let's look at all the positive effects that would be a direct result of NASA placing a camera on the moon. Number 1, set it and forget it. Since we always see the same side of the moon, all you need to do is land there at the Apollo 16 landing site, point the camera at Earth, and forget it. That camera view would always show the Earth from the moon. Number 2, you could prove the moon landings. Numbers vary, but some polls have it at 7% and some have it as high as 40%. What percentage of the world's population doubts that NASA ever went and landed man on the moon? Well, NASA, this would be your chance. Land the craft near the Apollo 16 landing position, pan the camera and show us the LEM and the rover. Number 3, you can actually change flat earthers' minds. It's going to be real hard to deny that the Earth is a ball when people see from the moon the ball Earth spinning in space. One of the reasons many people are flat earthers is because none of us have ever seen the things we're asking NASA to show. Number 4, it would be the first ever live stream of the Earth from space, seeing the Earth in its entirety. Number 5, it would be the first time we would get non-composite images of our Earth. How can there be no non-composite images taken of where we live? This would solve that problem. Number 6, it would be the first live stream from space to show the Earth spinning in space. Seems like something we should have already. We don't. This would solve that. Number 8, easy and clear proof and observed data, empirical evidence of what's going on during eclipses. No need for your misaligned diagrams, for your scales being incredibly off, for your backwards spinning Earths. This would show students, adults, parents, and teachers, everyone, exactly what's going on during an eclipse because you're watching live what's happening during an eclipse. Be it a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, we would get to see both from the moon. We would either see the moon's shadow appear on the Earth during a solar eclipse, or we would see the Earth block out the sun during a lunar eclipse. Number 9, think of the education opportunities that this presents. The time-lapse videos, the video footage, using it in schools, showing children rather than telling them exactly what's going on in the sky above them. Would you rather them read it in a book or actually see a live video going on as they learn in the sky above them? Number 10, payback. All of NASA's money comes from the citizens of this country. The very least that they can do, the very least, is provide video footage of where we live from space. This is crazy that we're having this discussion almost 60 years since NASA was created. 11, science denial. There's a lot of people who deny science. This would help to reduce that number by showing things rather than telling people. It's hard for people to deny things that are being shown to them right in their face. Number 12, this would be the #1 live stream of all time. It would be seen by more people than any live stream ever made. Number 13, if NASA has problems with the cost of this mission, by simply allowing advertising agencies or companies, corporations, businesses, stores, Walmart, Target, AT&T, to buy 1-hour time slots where they would have their logo on the screen during the live stream. Over the course of 10 years, you could figure out how much money NASA could make, and they would actually make money if they employed this kind of ad revenue generation. Maybe I'm the only one. I mean, can you believe we are having this discussion 60 years after NASA was invented and 50 years since we sent men to the moon? No photos of Earth, no live video of Earth, no video of the Earth spinning, no video on the moon to show us eclipses, no 24/7 view from space. Are you okay with this? And if so, why? So there should be a poll available right now. Would love to see what side you're on. The rational side, who looks at what NASA claims to be capable of and questions why in the world is there no camera on the moon? Or are you on the other side? The side of the fanboys, the ones that give NASA the benefit of the doubt that they do not deserve in any way. The side that continues to protect them rather than pressing them with issues like this. Make your pick. Do you stand with humanity? Or those who have enslaved the minds of humanity with lies and deception, with false teachings and make-believe heroism from agents in disguise? Hey NASA, why haven't you done this yet?
Today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you we say, we have only completed a beginning. The beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered. Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
So, do you want to know my opinion? It's only my opinion, but I honestly cannot begin to imagine how anyone can see this any other way. Because they can get you Curiosity on Mars. They can build you any satellite you want. They can land on comets and observe the sun from the Lagrange point. They can operate Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 13 billion miles away with no issue at all. They can fly through the rings of Saturn with Cassini and orbit Jupiter with Juno. But for some reason, they can't put a camera on the moon. They can't take a video of the Earth.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
The reason we have no videos, no pictures, no moon base, no photos is simple.
Problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Because we can't get but a few hundred miles from Earth. NASA can't go anywhere, just like all of us. So rather than teach people to be good to each other, and help each other, and make life easier for each other, they tell you a story about a spinning ball flying through endless space around a giant ball of nuclear fusion, 1 million times the size of the Earth. In a universe 14 billion years old, in our Milky Way galaxy, 100,000 light years across, and the whole thing is filled with dark energy and dark matter and black holes, none of which has ever been observed. That's absurd.
Well, we sit and we talk about things ahead of time.
This is where you're using the window of the spacecraft to appear to be the Earth far away.
And how, you ask? How does NASA get away with these lies? Because people love the fantasy. They will never ever see any piece of that fantasy in reality. They don't care. No one will ever stand on Mars. No one will ever travel in space. No one will ever go to the moon or to Jupiter or Saturn, because it's all a mental prison. And the inmates think the prison is home. If I'm wrong, NASA, put a camera on the frickin' moon. Why in the world haven't you done that yet?
Had this analyzed, and this is the window, and you're in, and it's dated.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight. We're not.
I know for a fact that it's dated. And this.
Be kind to each other. Don't lie to each other. Don't make up fantasy worlds and tell people it's reality. This has been Jaronism. Till next time. Peace.